brought tissue. We're gonna get through this together, girls. So, when I lost my baby, I struggled to make sense of that promise that I had felt was from the Lord. I had felt so assured that it was meant to reassure me that everything would be okay, that I would have a child, that God had overcome infertility in my body. When I lost my baby, I thought I was in the darkest place I could be. I thought I knew the worst thing that could happen to me. But, there's always a but, 4 weeks later, when I came home from work to find that my husband had left me for another woman, I found the true meaning of brokenness. I'm no stranger to loss. By the time I was 20, I had lost 3 of 4 grandparents, countless friends, 1 of 3 siblings, and my mother. But I never knew heartache like this before. When someone dies, you get to keep all of the good memories of that person. My husband abandoned me. He left me. He took our only car, cleaned out our bank accounts, left me in a heap of medical debt, and I wasn't even done miscarrying our child yet. I had to ask a woman from our church to drive me to the obstetrician. She had to sit with me through the final ultrasound. In that hour, on my knees, pleading for my child, I had interpreted that promise for that moment, but now I know it was for this one. God knew I would need his reassurance, his promise, that he can overcome even the biggest obstacles in our lives. Now, when it seems like I am farther away than ever from realizing my dreams of motherhood, I can cling to the promise that God has good plans for me. In the first days, even the first hours following Josh's abandonment of me, the Lord faced me with a decision, and it was mine to make. I had told Josh once that the only thing I could never forgive was unfaithfulness. But God showed me exactly what I could forgive. And he provided grace and forgiveness in the measure needed for the situation. I prayed for my husband. I interceded on his behalf. I asked the Lord to let me see Josh through his eyes as the sad, hurting, and broken man that he has to be. I asked that he show me how to love my husband. I can tell you firmly that I have loved Josh more in these past 4 months than I ever loved him before. God has given me the opportunity to show him true, unconditional love. Before Josh walked out on our marriage, the love I had for him was conditional. It depended on him loving me in return. It depended on me being his wife. It was conditioned on us being best friends. Since then, I have chosen to love him, and I receive nothing in return. I never will. Recently, one of my friends contacted me to let me know she is afraid her marriage may be ending. My heart aches for her. But I gave her one piece of advice without hesitation. I challenged her to choose to love her husband. I acknowledge that making this choice, walking forward in love, may not change the outcome of the situation. It may not restore their marriage, but it will start to heal that broken, bleeding part of her heart right now. As the days turned into weeks, God continued to challenge me in my resolution to love and forgive. He burdened my heart and moved me to pray for the woman who was with my husband. In the dark moments, when Satan wanted to convince me that my life had no meaning now, God brought brothers and sisters in Christ around me to tell me that I am precious to the Lord, to remind me that my worth is not defined by my circumstances on this earth. I started to long for her to hear those same truths. I can honestly tell you that I have love in my heart for her. It is a daily choice to forgive them. I love them both. It is not an easy one. Some days I don't make the right choice. I have to try again the next day. But I wrote this next song for her. It is a sincere prayer from my heart that I will be able to call her my sister one day.